I may have just found the single greatest vocal plugin you could ever find for free. All right, you guys, I got something cool to highlight today. It's actually a vocal plugin, and it's called Vocal Menace by Chris Lippe. He's a really cool dude. I've watched his YouTube videos, and I find what he does really educational and really cool. And the fact that he put out this plugin for free says a lot, and it's really, really awesome. I haven't gotten to use it in a full mix just yet because I only just started messing around with it, but this thing is amazing. Chris Lippe, thank you so much. So let's dive in, take a look at this, and see what it can do. So I am going to switch over to the vocal track here, and you're going to hear what I sound like with the effect off, which really shouldn't be any different than what you already hear. And now we're going to turn this vocal plugin on at the default setting and listen to this. So it adds a bit of compression and all sorts of different stuff. And as you can see, there's a few different knobs here that you can mess with. And I think the whole point of this plugin is to help you get a mix-ready, good-sounding vocal without having to get into the complicatedness that can be mixing vocals to get them to sound good. So a lot of the technical terms and stuff are not involved with this whatsoever. There's no parallel compression, there is no multi-band compressor, there's none of that. This is just drive, sheen, girth, cup, wash, call, and pane, and in and out. So this is the layout. It is really cool. And if you hover over everything, it'll tell you at the bottom what it does. So the drive adds saturation to the compressed signal. Sheen adds presence and air. Girth adds warmth and depth. Cup adds excited lo-fi band limiting to the compression after. Wash adjusts the reverb length and volume, which is nice. Call adjusts the delay feedback, width, and volume. And you can pan as well. So obviously there's compression built into this. There are some EQ curves built into this, reverb, delay. It's some really good stuff. So this is just default. So if you want to sing as this is, it sounds pretty good. And then they've also got an array of nothing for presets apparently. This is just one that I made that's really like atmospheric. This would be to sing a choir of some kind, to create your own choir, right? So now if I go back to just default somehow. Okay, so there's just a default preset. There's not really any other presets built into this as far as what I got when I downloaded this and everything. This is just kind of how it comes, and you get to mess with it. But you can make your own presets by changing some kind of setting and going up to this button here and hitting this, and then you can save it as a preset of some kind. So you can do that. Now, I'll mess with the knobs here just to show you a little bit of what this can do, but honestly, the default setting here sounds really, really good. So if we do the sheen, it adds a bit of presence, and you'll notice that my voice has a little more of that crystally air at the top of it. So this is like the high rising like vocal leads where you really want that wispy sound added to whatever you're doing, right? So that's really, really cool. And it doesn't get to a point where it's like unpleasant. It just adds that bit of air. And maybe you might need to add a little bit of de-essing afterwards, but it doesn't make the sound unpleasant. Now if we go to girth, you can definitely hear where this adds warmth and depth, and now it just kind of sounds really low and like I'm under a blanket almost, and it sounds good. I probably wouldn't add anything at 100%. Maybe you just kind of throw it in there for taste just to give your voice a little more boom, and yeah, that one's a little touchy. Don't add too much. Now, cup is the excited lo-fi band limiting, and that is going to kind of change things to maybe that telephone effect you want, like to highlight a certain phrase, or maybe the start of a song where you have something like this. I think Slipknot does a lot of stuff like this. It's just like the telephone effect if you turn it all the way up, and so you can add that in to taste and get a good sound. Wash obviously adjusts the reverb. So now we're in a giant hall, And now we're in a huge bathroom and a cathedral and a small room, and then we're back to normal. The call adjusts the delay. Who? So you can hear the delay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it's delay, and it's a ping pong delay. It sounds like, and then obviously you can add some panning to this, so it adds internal sidechain compression to the reverb and delay signal. So not sure what all that does necessarily, but it changes what you can do in terms of the ratio between hearing your central main vocal track and the delay feedback. So if I have it all the way up, you don't hear it as much in the background, but if I turn it all the way down, you can hear it all the same. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This is a really cool plugin. And I just realized this whole time, I've been calling this pan. You're not panning, it's pain. I don't know why I read it as that, but it's pain. So it adds a little bit of pain, apparently, when you crank that up. Not panning. It's my fault. But let's jump over to the drive. Now, drive is pretty obvious. If you turn this up, it's going to crank it up a little bit and add a little bit of drive. So even a little bit is good. Having none can also work, but always having just a little bit for when you really get in there, it can sound really good. And then, I mean, this is it. And you can adjust the amount. I'm assuming this is the wet signal or maybe the compression here. Let's see if I turn it to 0 in here. This might be the amount of compression that's getting added. Sets threshold of the compression and limiting. So yeah, I was right. So this kind of just changes the limiting and compressing factor of this plugin. And I gotta say, this thing is just really, really cool. And it's an amazing thing to have for free. And look at this, I just realized you have a different look. You can go a light version or a dark version, and of course I'm gonna have the dark version because, my heart is black. And again, this is such an amazing thing. Vocal Menace, it's free, has no protection on it, and you can go to his website and look up more stuff with Chris Lipe, and this is a really useful plugin. I'll hopefully showcase it a little bit more with some of the music I've got coming out. I haven't had a chance to put it in a mix yet, but just the simplicity of this vocal plugin and the ease of creating a good sound is what makes it really awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do just to try to test this in a real scenario, I've got my vocal bus pulled up on a recent original song that I put out for Halloween called Killing Is My Mistress. And so I'm going to pull this up with the chorus right now with the vocal chain that I have on my vocal bus right now with the vocals soloed out. Killing is my mistress, my doctor too long, I don't understand. Right, sounds pretty good. I think I've got it dialed in pretty well. I'm just using Neutron 3 with some compression, EQ, and excitement, which you can hear a bit of that drive in there, which I like, and then a bit of a mono delay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn those off, make it real dry. So now we're left with this. Killing is my mistress, my doctor too long, I don't understand. Right, real dry, just the basic tracks as they were recorded. And now we're going to turn on Vocal Menace and see what that does to the vocals. Killing is my mistress, my doctor too long, I don't understand. Since love is forbidden, the only one but I must feed my ignorance. Killing is my mistress, my doctor too long, I don't understand. Since love is forbidden, the only one but I must feed my ignorance. Killing is my mistress. So that's kind of how I would use it. I didn't really do a whole lot of change because I think for this song I worked really hard to get these vocal tracks out, and using an SM7B does a whole lot. It works really well for my voice and capturing how I want it to sound. And so there's not much difference with this added in. Maybe I could push the compression.
Killing is my mistress, my darker wrong. I don't understand. Since love is forbidden, the only one but I must feed my inner rage.
So we go from this
Killing is my mistress.
to this.
My darker wrong. I don't understand. Since love is forbidden, the only one but I must feed my inner rage.
So again, I'm not using it to like do anything crazy, but it's doing something that gets it pretty close to.
Killing is my mistress. Killing is my mistress. My darker wrong. I don't understand.
It's pretty close to what I already had because it's doing all the same things I had before.
Killing is my mistress. Killing is my mistress. My darker.
And honestly, I'd probably add a little more drive.
Killing is my mistress. My darker wrong. I don't understand. Since love is forbidden, only one but I must feed my inner rage. I must kill them.
So it does work really, really well.
No one has ever been clever enough to catch on to the slew of lies I've cut. This masquerade of slaying belongs to me, but I will never ever be to blame. The ways that I know.
So it does enough subtlety to make it sound just like more polished, more rounded. And again, I'm not making huge giant moves right now. I'm doing small things just to kind of nestle it in there. And this is already a pretty decently mixed track, so there doesn't need to be a lot of anything, but this is doing all the same things I was already doing. I was adding compression, I was adding excitement or drive, I was doing a little bit of EQ, which this is doing with the Sheen, Girth, and Cup. I don't use a lot of reverb, but I do use delay, and the call is the delay in this, and it's basically just doing what my other 2 or 3 plugins did in just this one plugin. It's really, really nice. I really, really like it. Hopefully that showcased a little bit of what it can do in a mix. It's a phenomenal plugin. I will leave a link down in the description for you to go pick it up for yourself. And like I said, if you want to see more from Chris Lipe, there's his website, link on the plugin itself. So when you get it, click it over and you're already there. Yeah, hopefully this thing helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. I am extremely sick, so I'm going to go take some more medicine, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.